Okay, so in this lesson of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to cut circles into geometry the proper way. Um, just in case you need to model something that actually has a hole in it or an extrusion out of it. For things like a gas tank on a car, or the nozzle hole for the gas tank on a car, like a watch face, or in this example, this rabbit's chest plate here. Some people would say, well, it's a hard surface, well, why don't you go ahead and use a Boolean function? That Boolean function just will not deform well whenever you, say, like, skin it to joints. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that it's all quads. Quads are going to be very important here. So the easiest way to properly do this, and I'll just move this out of the way here, is we aren't going to model it specifically in its position right off the bat. We'll make it just basically on the grid here, and I'm just hitting X to snap to the grid there. Okay, and as you can see, our polyplane has been created. So let's go ahead and up the divisions here, and I'm just going to put 3 in for both the width and the height here, and I'll just go ahead and select the faces of where those holes are actually going to be. And the proper way to do this is we're going to extrude, but we need to make sure that this keep faces together option is turned off, so that whenever we extrude here, and I'll show you, it's going to extrude each face pretty much independent on its own. And we'll just go ahead and do 2 extrusions here, and we'll just go ahead and delete them. And I'm hitting 3 on the keyboard, but with 1 you can see that this here is still very square, and this just isn't going to work. So what we need to go ahead and do is we need to smooth this out, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit 3 on my keyboard, go up to modify, convert smooth mesh preview to polygons, and this is just going to add a smooth node to our polygon here, and it comes out as 2 divisions by default. But this is, it can, let's say, render it a little too high in terms of initial geometric creation. So we're going to go ahead and turn this down to 1, and as you can see, it's still pretty smooth in terms of, you can see the shapes. The shapes are very definable. But let's say we need to, like for instance that rabbit, we need to deform this, and the easiest way to go ahead and do this is you can either do it through ZBrush, but since this is a very basic shape, we'll just go ahead and use a deformation tool here, and we're going to use the bend tool, and as you can see, it creates this linear curve, and we'll go ahead and turn the curvature up here. Whoops, I gotta select this. Let's go ahead and rotate the tool here, and as you can see, it's going to bend the mesh properly, and I need to rotate this. Okay, let's turn these back to 0. And as you can see, it's going to allow us to bend the shape correctly. Then you would just freeze your transformations, and then rotate it to create that shape properly. and it's still pretty smooth.